Hello and welcome to the Dent Gaming. As always, I am your host Dent. In this episode, I'm playing some MechWarrior 5. Hey guys, how we doing? It's good to be back. I want to start out by saying shout out to my friend Geller Wolf. He's Geller Wolf Games on YouTube. He actually let me use his game here so I can actually make videos and have a little fun on MechWarrior. I know I haven't posted a video in a long time. Sorry, not sorry. I've been busy. I got burnt out on Apex, and I've switched to this game. You know, something I could do on my own, something to do on my own time. If this catches on, if you guys actually like this, I'll make more videos like this. I just had to share this game because MechWarrior is one of those game series that has a very, very steep learning curve, and I feel like it would be a lot more popular if there was some I don't know, some instructional videos out there. So I'm gonna get right into it. First and foremost here, you want to set up your weapon groups. So I was lucky here. I got the Jenner JR 7-0 right out the gates. Like, it was the first heroic mech that popped up while I was at the hub, and I just bought it. So right here, I'm setting it up how I want it. It looks a little excessive, but let me explain my train of thought here. So my trigger, so your first trigger is your right trigger. Your second trigger is your left trigger. Then 3 is actually going to be your top shoulder on the right, and then 4 is your top shoulder on the left. So basically I had it set up where I could just pull the right trigger, and that would activate the missiles on my arms, and it would just basically sequentially fire on one side, other side, one side, other side. Next trigger over is going to be just my center torso, and it matters in this game because if you notice there, I've actually got 2 reticles. It's really hard to see, but there's an X and there's a diamond. Now, the diamond is actually your arms. Your arms can turn further back than your torso can, and that comes in really important when it comes to strategy and like taking other mechs down and taking out targets and hitting your targets, knowing that there are 2 separate reticles. When I first started playing this game, I didn't really understand the mechanics behind that, and so I actually did what's known as a reticle lock, where they would lock together no matter what. However, this takes out your range of motion, and that is no bueno when you're in a combat situation. You want a maximum range of motion. You want to be able to actually hit your targets, and you know, turn and just shoot, and they're dead. Anyway, like I said, this is one of the first missions out the gates. Very hard mission, especially if you don't come in with a save file like I did. I didn't come in with a save file. This is just fresh, just for you guys. No idea how I took damage right there, because I shot him with all my missiles and then I got damaged, but I might have accidentally stepped on him, and Jenner's too light for that. Anyway, so I come across this Panther here. Now, this Panther is equipped with a PPC on its right arm, and I know if you've never played this game series, you hear the phrase PPC and you're like, why does it have plastic piping on its arm? No, PPC is a laser cannon, and it does a lot of damage. I'm trying to back off here, but he actually hits me with it and almost breaks my my torso. So I'm aiming for that arm. I want to take that arm off, and luckily on that second shot it came off. After that, I can just sort of take him down. You know, he's almost completely weaponless. Panthers, go for the arm, take the PVC out. Like I said, it's a very strategic game. You want to know what you're doing, and the learning curve is super, super steep. Alright, moving on, I'm going to my next target here. Next target's gonna be a Warhammer. Now this is a heavy, I can't remember if it's a heavy or an assault class, but it's a big boy. It's got a lot of armor. It's got really big guns on its arms. So just like with the Panther, I aim for the arms. I want to take those guns out. I don't want it to hit me. So this game, I never really finished telling you guys about my weapon setup on here. So I've got it to where the 3 weapon group 3 trigger is actually all my missiles all at once. So I launch 8 missiles at the same time, and that's really good for taking parts down. That's why you see it coming out in big waves. See, I just took a bunch of that thing off. You look in the top right corner, you can actually see where you're hitting. Oh, well, you can't now because I overheated, which is another aspect of this game I will delve into. Like I said, if these videos catch on, I'll start talking about heat management and things like that. But anyway, so right there, I'm just launching them out in big bursts. I'm trying to break these guys down because at the end, there's a strategy behind it. Again, I overheat. There's a strategy behind why I fight this way and why I do the Jenner. I play the Jenner like this. So basically, the more parts you rip off a mech, the cheaper it will be for salvage, and you get like these salvage points. And whenever their weapons are broken, which, you know, the weapons are located on the mech, obviously. If you break the part that the weapon's on, the weapon breaks as well. There's also ammo explosions, so if you hit them with their ammunition stored, the ammo will explode, causing even more damage. So yeah, you want to make sure you're not going in with a with no armor, because it's like if your ammo gets hit, it'll rip your mech in half, and you'll be running around with like one gun, and yeah, you don't want your mechs to be squishy. You also don't want to run into your other mechs, because it will do damage, like I just did. Anyway, okay, I'm going in for my third mech here. So the Jenner's a lightweight. It's a little squishy. I've got my armor point on this one up to, I think, 250 or 240, I think, which is almost completely up. So there's a little bit of, I mean, you're fighting your tonnage, how much your mech actually weighs when you're doing that, and getting the weapons you want on there. It can be kind of a pain in the butt, but it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I come over here to try to help this guy because I know he's going against a Griffin, and Griffins, again, like Panthers, they got one big gun on their right arm. So I'm trying to get around and get a shot on his right arm, and this guy actually takes out his leg, which causes him to slow down. And I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that, but he just fired off his weapon there and almost hit me in the face with it. So I start moving around again. Right here I'm running into a little bit of a game mechanic issue that I kind of get worked up about sometimes. See, I feel like if you're in a mech, you should be able to rotate your legs 360 degrees and just keep rotating them, but the makers of this game decided, no, you can only move it about 270 degrees, and then basically your torso starts spinning with your legs. And yeah, back in the day when I played some Mech Assault, they would rotate 360 degrees, and it made controlling them a lot easier. But I mean, as a downside, it'll mess you up, but the upside is it will help your torso turn faster. So if you're having trouble locking onto a target, you can what I call overshoot the turn, and basically just rotate your legs and your torso the opposite ways of each other, and then they'll start rotating the direction your legs are going, and you'll quick turn to that direction you want to go. Alright, getting into the next mech here. This is a Hunchback. Their main weapon system is usually on their upper right shoulder. It's really hard to get to, so I just kind of popped around in there, and I ran away, because you got to break that arm to get access to that torso, and I'm in a lightweight, and he had backup right there with him, so I decided to move on to the next mech, which is actually a Blackjack. Now, as I was saying earlier, if you look up in the top right corner, you can actually see the damage you're doing up there. See, this guy is like glowing because I've got my people stationed up top, where basically one guy's there to protect the one guy's there to protect the other, and the other guy's job is to shoot missiles on my targets. See, right here, I've ripped both his arms off. He has no short-range weapons that he can hit me with, so I'm just playing with my food here. I'm just literally just hitting him right in the core, right in the sweet spot, just breaking him apart. So yeah, like once you get the strategy down on how to take down different mechs and do different things, it is a lot of fun. Not entirely sure why it's paused right now, but oh, there it goes. I don't remember pausing there for anything. I think maybe my kid was talking to me and I didn't want to get distracted or anything, but yeah, anyway, next mech, it's Blackjack. I'm shooting him in, I tried to shoot him in the leg there. Actually just shot him in the butt, which is kind of funny. I meant to shoot him in the leg, shot him in the butt, and I'm like, whoops, my bad. He had a Forrest Gump moment there. He got shot in the buttocks. But right here, I'm going for the legs. If you take out the legs, just as a real quick tip, I overheated again because I wasn't doing proper heat management, and I didn't set this up how exactly I want it because I don't have the parts I need yet, but so right there, you see up in the top right corner, he's missing a leg. I don't want to shoot him in the other leg, because as soon as you shoot him in the other leg, basically the mech is down and it can't fight anymore, so the pilot ejects. Well, you can't lock onto that and do any more damage to the mech after that. So I just stay behind him and I just start blowing off his parts. Yeah, there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so I start doing what's called part breaks right now. So I'm just basically breaking his parts, breaking his weapons, breaking him down. That way, if it does turn out that I can salvage this mech, then I can just salvage it for cheaper. Alright, moving into the last part of this mission. I know it seems like I've been kind of going on for a while here and just talking about how to do like breaks and things, but there is a storyline, a little bit of a storyline in here. Not on every mission is part of the storyline. A lot of it is kind of like repetitive and it's at different skill levels, and but it is a lot of fun. I highly recommend checking this game out because it's so much fun. And you can actually develop your own strategies. That's another thing that's I love about games like this. So you can develop your own ways of doing things. I'm just sharing what I like to do because it works for me, and if it works for me, it can probably work for you. Anyway, so right there, that spider that I just took out, it was already damaged. So I just had to hit it in the right spot, which was the center core, because it already had damage and armor break, and I went for it and took it out. I've noticed that most of the salvage in this game is what you kill. So if something else kills your target before you get to finish it, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't show up on the salvage list. I don't know why, that's just how it is. Even if your team helps you and they kill it, doesn't quite work out. Anyway, right here, so this is where knowledge of the mechs comes into play too. Right here I'm going against a Locust. I think it's a 3V model, which is the ballistic model. So I know it can hit. It's mainly built for harassing, so I just go ahead and take out a leg to slow it down. Then I get right behind it so it can't turn, and I just keep hitting it from behind, and then it goes down. Again, I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. But anyway, I digress. So we're moving into the the real final wave here. And this is where they send, I think it's like 2 or 3 mechs. So, oh yeah, another thing is, if you look to the left here on the HUD, where it says primary 47%. So my mission right now is to protect the base that my mechs, my other teammates, are stationed at. It's not going too hot. 41%, I think it's at 40%. 41, yeah, it dropped a little bit now. Yeah, we almost lose this base because because I feel like I'm the one doing all the work. I'm running around this lightweight, just shooting down, assault class mechs and heavy mechs that are way more armored than me. But like I said, it'll work as long as you follow the right strategy and you hit all your shots. Right here, I had an issue with this Centurion because I could not line up a shot on his main weapon, and he actually hits me with it here in a second, and it hurts. It does some damage. See, I'm trying to run away from it, and he shoots, and it just armor broke me. Yep, just broke the armor on my right arm. I'm like, great, I'm gonna lose a part. But right here, he backs off of me for some reason. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna line up my shot. I'm gonna shoot you in the arm, and that broke his arm. And I'm like, okay, yeah, tit for tat. I start running away. I accidentally run over a tank, which causes damage. I don't know if you see it down there in the bottom left is my mech's health. Well, not my health, but the situation my mech is in, basically. So here I noticed that his backup has a broken leg. So, oh yeah, right there I just lost a part. I don't know if you saw the fire there, but I lost all. And on the bottom right, it shows like my weapons and their status. So right here, I know he's weak. He's got a broken leg. I'm just trying to pick him off so he can't help out his buddy. And then these guys, these helicopters actually hit really hard. They use mech weapons and they can fly around. Having a lot of trouble hitting him because I don't know what my problem is, but when you're in the moment, things just happen. Again, I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. Anyway, so right now I'm getting kind of frustrated. I'm on the screen. I'm like, would you guys please kill this guy right here? So I actually commanded. So there's a commander aspect to this one, where if you push up twice, you can actually, on the D-pad, you can actually talk to your guys, all of them at the same time, and then if you press whatever button to command, I think it's up again, it's attack target. I told him to attack this guy because I knew he was the last one, and right here he lost his arm, his protection, so I'm just beating him into a fine powder right now, just trying to get him, trying to core him right now. Yeah, he's taking a beating. So right there, we won the mission. My mech's in worse shape than I would prefer, but it's at least still walking. So Anyway, that's actually how you can beat the first mission there without coming in with a story mode. It is a hard one, but it can be done. And like I said, it's a good game. So if you guys have the chance to pick it up, or if you have a friend that has it and you guys have never played it, yeah, there's a steep learning curve to it. But once you get in that rhythm and you find your way of doing it, it is so much fun. I always have a lot of fun making these videos. I took a long break for a while. Again, sorry, not sorry. But anyway, like I said, if this kicks off, I will be back, and I will be making these videos more often. So thanks for watching, and stay awesome. If you enjoyed the carnage, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all out in the frontier.